I'm gonna go get the bottle going, and then we'll do weigh-ins and stuff. Kittens, look everybody, it's kittens. Okay, so hopefully the forest sounds are off. I think I did the audio right. I did just post a link to the weight chart. If you go up to the top where it says more event details, click on that and you'll see a list of links, and there's a weight chart link at the bottom. Hi, how are you? Are you ferocious? Come on. I got hissed at yesterday. Oh. Your mommy's checking out your nest right now. So I try to keep this quick so that she doesn't worry too much. But I'm not going to be putting Cindy Lou Mew back in this time, just because I think it's too disruptive if I have to go in there every 2 hours and steal someone. Right? Too disruptive. So this is Maisie. Maisie, our little girl, Ginger. She's very cute. She's got, oh, shh, we don't want your mom. Oh no, we don't want your mommy to hear you.
And they're all like, come on.
We don't want your mommy to hear you. So even though mom is feral, these guys are not feral because they're getting human contact from day one, pretty much. I'm just gonna weigh her. So far she's been our pudgiest. Where are you going? 162. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's very pudgy. So 162. Let me just get the weight chart now. So that is a gain of 22 grams. Almost an ounce. That's a really big gain. So that's 5.7 ounces. We want the kittens to double their birth weight in their first week or thereabouts. So she's well on her way. Good job. Good job. So this guy is Bartholomew Mercury Geisel. Oops, let's go back, make sure I can see this. There you go. He's a pretty laid back guy. He's spotted. His pattern is spotted or mackerel. Hard to say at this point, but we'll see if he'll either have thin stripes or spots. He's very handsome, and he might have a white face, or he might not. But he's very manly. That's what a boy bum looks like. If anyone's interested, that's a boy. Oh my goodness, that's how much he weighs. 140. Good job, buddy. So he is 140, up from 128. So a gain of 12 grams, 4.9 ounces. Good job, buddy. This is Trudy, Gertrude McFuzz. Oh, she's very cute. She looks like her Auntie Sloanie with her little ginger patch back there. She's feeling quite hefty. 159. Holy moly. You guys are little pudge muffins. 159. So also a gain of 22 grams. 5.6. So the two girls are the biggest. Good job. Good job, team. Oh, it's so cute. And we'll get to you in a minute. I'm not gonna. Oh, it's big yawn. That's making me very sleepy. Very sleepy. Let's see. I'm not gonna potty her first because Mommy's been doing a good job of that. Oh, 111. So that's good. So she maintained some of her weight. There's a bottle feeding tab on the chart, on the weight chart. Whoops, I forgot to do the end weight last time because I was trying to get her in there fast. But that's okay. So I'm going to, oh, Mommy's sitting on top of the nest waiting for me to return these three. So I'm going to get her wrapped up and I'm just gonna toss these guys back in so that Mommy doesn't worry too much. Wish me luck. Oops. Oops. Here with Frank. Frank will keep you warm. Alright, you three now, be quiet. Be quiet. I got you, brother. I'm very lucky that she's letting me come and go like this. That is not always the case. Does Frank need a little warm up? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna just give Frank a little warm up and then we'll get to the dog feeding. Are you hungry? I bet you are. So it's important with newborn kittens to keep their temperature just right. They're not able to regulate their own temperature, so they're basically the temperature you make them, which is somewhat tricky sometimes because you don't want them too warm, but you definitely don't want them too cold. So Frank is microwavable and he keeps her warm, and then she's also got her snuggle mom in there with a heartbeat, and then another little heating pad, but also an area she can escape to if she gets too warm, because you don't want them. Oh, I'm sorry, am I bothering you? She's very cute. Okay. So she is up 3 grams since her 10 o'clock feeding. So we'll see if she can maintain. She's been kind of up and down, so she started out at the same weight today, yesterday. I guess it's only been 2 days, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, today, yesterday, and the 10th when I first weighed her. So I guess I'll put in the 111. We'll see. So her weight should go up after I feed her. So basically, I'm just letting her feel some warmth for a minute, and then I've been warming the bottle. I'm not going to potty her because her mommy's been doing a good job of that. Usually I would stimulate her bum so that she goes to the bathroom before I feed her, and then again after, but their little bums can get kind of raw, so I'm not going to do it extra if mommy's already done it recently. So the formula also, it's really important to make sure that's the right temperature, so I'm just going to test it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So I'm starting at 10. This is the Royal Canin cat milk, which is really good. And these bottles are really nice too. Alright, little one, are you hungry? Are you going to show everyone what a big girl you are? Oh, there we go. There you go. It's pretty yummy. She has a very unique nursing style. So she had about 5 ml at her 10, 15 feeding. We're feeding her about every 2 hours around the clock. I let her go a little extra this time just so that she could spend more time with her mommy. Because I think that's probably nice for her to get some mommy time. Good job. You're doing a good job. Oh, you're gonna get... She hasn't really been getting her paws involved, which is kind of unusual, but she sort of was moving one there. There you go. So I find that if I give her a little bit of stimulation, she, just by rubbing her, she tends to stay awake longer. Good job. So that was about 1 milliliter. Was that pretty tasty? Should we put it back in the water to get warmer? She likes her formula warm. I have to blame her for that. If I can get a better angle. So overall, so her weight was the same this morning as it was on the 10th, which is not great. Obviously, we want them to be gaining weight. She does seem to have a bit more pep today. Ready to try again? Ready to try again? I wonder where you're going. So if she doesn't take enough from the bottle, then I will have to tube feed her a little bit to supplement, but I'm hoping that she did great with her first 2 bottle feedings today, so. The only way to tell if they're getting, to tell how much they're getting, is to use a bottle that has markings on it so you can see the measurements, and then weigh them before and after. So, like, she looks like she's been doing a little bit, but she's had maybe just about 2, maybe, not quite 2. So I'm trying to get her up to like 4 or 5 ideally. You can also feel in their bellies when her belly's got space in it. It does. You have space in there, and I'm gonna fill it. I'm gonna fill it. Yes, Sable is back in the nest, so I'm very, very fortunate that she has been letting me come and go like this, because otherwise it would be a bit of a challenge. Doing way too. Formula, once it gets dried on there, it's really hard to get off, isn't it? That's why it's nice your mommy gave you some baths. She keeps you clean, and we keep you clean. She does a better job, though, I'm sure. So, okay. She may be tired too she was doing a lot of exploring when she was in the nest. but I'm just letting her bottle heat up a little bit more. She tends to like it a little warmer, on the warmer side. So we'll see if she feels a little more motivated if it's slightly warmer. Whoops. Again with my amazing camera work. And focus. Now I'm trying to get the camera to actually refocus on her face. There we go, that's better. How cute is that? So all in all, we haven't seen a huge improvement. She does tend to have she seems to have a bit more energy today, which is good. The not gaining weight is not great, but she's comfortable and warm and getting a full belly, so there's no reason to discontinue what we're doing or you know, she's still hanging in there. So as long as she's still fighting, then we're gonna still support her as much as we can. Let's check your bottle. She's pretty sweet though. She's pretty sweet. Pretty much the sweetest. Look how tiny she is next to my finger. She's just teeny tiny. So 2 days old. This is your 2-day birthday. Good job. Good job. She is sleeping. It is hard to tell though when their eyes aren't open. I'm just gonna do another round with the bottle. The key with bottle feeding is having tons of patience and tons of time and no sleep. But figuring out what temperature they like and what bottle they like and what position they like, if they like to be wrapped or not wrapped. Right? It's all different. Oh, hi. Where are you going? No, where are you going? I got something for you that you're gonna really like. Okay, that's a good temperature. I think she will maybe like that better. But now I made a mess. Okay. Alright, let's see. Oh, it yawned and I put the bottle in. How sneaky. So, are you looking for some more? Are you looking for a little bit more? There we go. Here we go. So tasty. There you go. There we go. Keep going. You can do it. When you see the bubbles going back in, that means she's actually eating something. It's hard to tell with her because she doesn't get super into it most of the time. So when you bottle feed a kitten, you never want to hold them like a human baby. They should always be upright because otherwise they can choke on the formula. So when she went in yesterday, she has sort of a clicking sound that she makes. It happens when she breathes, but also at other times too. So Dr. Ferguson suspects she has some sort of abnormality in her respiratory system. And they did take an x-ray on the mouse setting. I didn't even know x-ray machines had a mouse setting, but that's what you were, mouse sized. And didn't see anything obviously wrong, but obviously if it's not, you know, a calcified, then they're not going to see it on an x-ray necessarily. So there's really no way to tell what it is, and if it's something that she'll grow out of, or if it's something that will become, you know, increasingly an issue for her. Her color is good, so she is properly oxygenating. We just don't know what it is, so not a lot of answers at this point, but as long as she's continuing to take in food and produce output, then and as long as she's not suffering at all, then we're just gonna keep trying. Yeah, we're gonna keep trying. That's what we do. Your foot's wet. Let me get this one. This one's wet too. Let me get your face too. Your face is wet. I know I'm not as good as Mom. I know. So she's had about 3 milliliters, which is good. I'm just reheating the bottle again. And then we'll try again. There are no indications that she's premature. She has all of her fur, and she's quite a good size at birth. She did seem to struggle a bit at birth, sort of was slow to get going. But Dr. Ferguson did confirm that her lungs are clear, so she did not aspirate any of the birthing fluid or any bottle formula. So that at least we know for sure. Are you trying to escape? Are you trying to escape? Or are you trying to find some snacks? I'm going to try to do a slightly better job getting formula off of you before it dries. Oh, a bath. Bath time, and then more snacks. And then you can have a nice long nap. A nice long nap until 2:30. So we are doing everything we can possibly do for her. Had she been born in the wild, she would not have survived longer than 24 hours. She wouldn't have gotten enough to eat. So, you know, we're ahead of the game. in that regard, but sometimes they just aren't put together properly, and we just don't know at this point if that's the case, or if it's just she just needs a little boost to get her going. So, oh look, we made a big mess. She says, no, thank you. Oh, here, ready? Let's try to not make such a big mess this time. There you go. Oh, where are you going? So she's at about 5 milliliters, but I think we have to subtract at least 1 from all the spillage. I think we have to subtract at least 1, because I spilled a lot that time. So we were gonna try one more attempt, and then you can have a little nap. Then we'll clean you for real, because I got you dirty again. You little bib. There we go. There we go. Are you done? Okay, I think she's done. Alright, so I'm gonna give you a 4 on that one. I'm gonna give you 4 milliliters on that one. Let's check your tummy. Your tummy feels pretty good. Pretty good. Now we need to do some burping. Now it's time for burping. Burping and face cleaning. Mm-hmm. She's very tiny. She's very tiny. You would never want to give a kitten this tiny a regular bath, because they would get hypothermic and probably die. You have to be super careful with their temperatures. Super, super careful. Oh, there we go. Now, oh, that's not so bad, huh? That's kind of like what Mom does. Alright, good job. That will be a little bit better. There. We don't want crusty kittens. No crusty kittens. Okay. So we try to have a little burping. Where are you going? Try to have some burps. Then you can have your nap. So we want to keep them between like 100 and 102-ish degrees. Their temperature, not the room temperature. So I'm just giving her a little massage and stuff too, so that she has a little chance to burp. If she gets too cold, then her body can't actually digest the food. So that's one of the reasons we always, if like an orphan kitten comes in, you always warm them up first and then feed them. Even if they're starving, you have to warm them up first. Are you gonna give us a burp? It would be pretty cute if you did. There it is. There's a little burp. Good job. Do you have any more in there? So I'll put her up closer to the camera, and maybe you can hear the clicking. She is skilled in Morse code. What is she trying to tell us? Her back legs are actually looking much better. I'll show you, and then I'm gonna tuck her in and let her rest. But they're a lot less twisted, and she is able to actually straighten out her feet now, so they're looking much better. Yep, they are. We've been doing some stretching. So I'm gonna get her tucked in. She's had her burp. Maybe I'll do a little potty, and then weigh her, and then we'll see. Let's see where we are. So I'm just stimulating her so that she goes to the bathroom. Does This is what Mom does. And since we're feeding her so much, she does go to the bathroom quite a bit, which is good. It means everything's sort of working. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get you a better grip on you. There we go. She's having a nice big pee. She pooped at the 8 a.m. So we'll see if she has to poop again. Just pee. Oh, she's working on it. Good job. Good job. Alright, so a good size pee, and then very busy. 114 is our ending weight. 114. So she'll probably lose some of that weight before the next feeding, but we'll see. And we're putting in about 4 milliliters. There, good job. There are formulas that help you calculate how much they should be eating, but I tend, in her case especially, I will let her eat as much as she wants and then try to get her to eat a little bit more as long as her tummy doesn't feel too full. Just because we're trying to put weight on her. So I'm going to keep her out. She has a little carrier with a heating pad, and Frank and her snuggle mom with a heartbeat, so she's actually quite cozy in there. And she's ready for a nap. She's had a very exciting morning. So I'm going to put her... She's pretty cute though. One final close-up. So I will keep you posted. She's definitely not out of the woods, so just, you know, try to keep that in mind, as hard as it is that she's not out of the woods. But everything that can possibly be done for her is being done for her, and she's comfortable and warm and full belly and getting lots of cuddles from humans, and got some time with Mommy and her siblings, and that's really all we can do for her at this stage is continue to provide the very best supportive care, make sure she's getting lots of good food and going to the bathroom, and just monitor very, very closely so that if she starts to decline, we stay on top of it, and if she starts to improve, you know, we continue to keep her going. So that's really all we can do, and we just have to wait and see what happens. So the other 3 are doing great, very, very pudgy, very healthy. I did put the weight chart in. If you look above the video and under where it says Sable and Neelix, there's a link that says more event details. And you can see, if you scroll down, there's a list of links. You can see weight chart, and you can see that the others have gained tons of weight. So Sable's a very good mama. So I'm going to update her weight to 114. Not that it's not going to stay at 114, but if we can gain, you know, a couple of grams, if we can get her up even a couple of grams between this morning and tomorrow morning, that will be a tiny victory. So we just try the best we can. And thank you to everyone who has been sending words of encouragement, and a few people have dropped things off for us, and Angie Qualley, who's on our board, brought a generator and lunch and dinner on the 10th, because that was a crazy day. And Gwen took over feeding duties all day and overnight, so that I could get some sleep, so that I was a little more coherent today, because it was getting pretty pathetic. And so I'm very grateful to have such a good support system out here. And Kimsies and Suzanne and Amanda and Alicia and Luana and Linda and Lori, all of our snugglers have been giving lots of help, so it definitely takes a tiny village. What else? Kestrel has been adopted. If you didn't hear that earlier, she is going to the perfect home for her. We just love her adopter. They were instantly smitten with each other. She's still going to be here for a few days because her adopter had a few obligations and wanted to make sure that she could spend all of her time getting her settled. So I'm so thrilled. Could not be more thrilled with that match. So that's very good news. So she'll be going home in a couple of days. Fairy is the feral cat who came in with a broken and infected abscessed tail, who we also suspected might be pregnant. We were able to ultrasound her. She was not pregnant, thank goodness. And so she's been spayed and got some antibiotics for her tail. And because her tail had already started healing, we don't need to do anything further for it except antibiotics and wound care. And so she's on some good pain meds and recovering nicely, both from her spay and from her tail injury. So that's very exciting. She's in Savina's room with Savina, who is another feral cat who's pregnant. So we currently have 2 pregnant feral cats here, 1 injured and recovering feral cat, and then Sable, the feral mama cat. And they're all doing quite well so far, so that's good. Yeah, so we were all very relieved that Fairy is not pregnant, because 4 pregnant ferals would have been... You can see how much more difficult it is with the feral moms. If something goes wrong, it's exponentially more difficult than with a friendly mom. And because of the environment that they come from and just the level of stress, even though we do keep it as low stress as possible here, there's still stress for them being in captivity. And so there are so many possible complications and unknowns. And as you can see, even having 4 kittens, if Sable was caring for all 4 of them and all 4 were doing great, then it's okay. It's pretty easy until we have to start socializing them. But it's so much risk. It's such a higher likelihood to get kittens with problems. We've seen so many strange issues with the kittens in the feral colony. So the likelihood of them all being born healthy is much lower than with, a stray or abandoned mama cat. So it's definitely a big challenge, and you don't know if the mom's gonna reject all of them because of stress, and then you're gonna be bottle feeding everyone. You just don't know. So it's hard not to take in as many as you see, but it's so much work potentially that I was pretty nervous about having 4. I'm still nervous about having 3, but we'll just do the best we can. Yeah, so Sloanie's babies were healthy, thank goodness, and Cisco had 8 kittens. One had a congenital issue, and then 3 had resistant E. coli infections and needed antibiotics 3 times a day and fluids and, you know, all sorts of stuff. So you can't go into a feral cat's nest 3 times a day to take babies and do meds. I'm lucky that Sable's letting me go in and out as much as I have been. Cisco was much more fearful, and she was on the verge of she could have very easily rejected the whole bunch. So I was trying to be very, very careful with those kittens. But luckily I had a friendly mom at the same time, and so she helped with nursing duty, which was a huge help. But so we've had three feral moms give birth here so far, and of the 3, 2 have had problems. I've had babies with problems, so it's definitely keeps me up at night for sure. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely what we're learning, I think, will be helpful for lots of other people. I know that when I first started thinking about taking in pregnant ferals, I couldn't find any information online about how to increase your odds for success and for positive outcomes. There just wasn't any information online. There's tons of great information about doing traditional trap, neuter, return. But if you want to go beyond that and do some of the other stuff we're doing, like take care of injured feral cats or pregnant feral cats, I just couldn't find any information out there. So I'm trying to document everything I'm learning and all the stuff that we're doing, in hopes that it will help other people who run into some of the same issues we've run into. So you can find out, you can read some of the stuff if you want to at tinykittens.com/ferals. And you can see some of the stuff we've learned and hopefully avoid our mistakes and see what's working and we've had pretty good success so far, actually. And been able to do things we never would have imagined were possible. Like if you read the stuff online, you make certain assumptions. I certainly did. And one of those assumptions is that you can't do like wound care on an injured feral cat. And I'm sure that's true for some feral cats, but we've had now maybe 4 injured ferals that I've been able to give meds to and soak their paws, and we were able to remove sutures and we've been able to do ultrasounds on 4 feral cats. All sorts of stuff you just never would imagine you'd be able to do, that open up a whole world of possibilities when it comes to caring more compassionately for feral cats. And since feral cats are a huge contributor to cat overpopulation, and also the most underserved cat population out there, I'm hoping that the work we're doing will start to help giving them a higher value in society, so that more people will care about them. And now I will get off my soapbox about how awesome feral cats are. Feral cats rule, you guys. They are pretty awesome. This one's pretty cute. She's not feral though. Nope. So anyway, tinykittens.com/ferals. You can learn about what we're doing if you're interested. So next feeding for her is going to be at 2:30, so about an hour from now. I'm going to tuck her in and let her rest. And I need to do some rounds on the others and do some stretching for the casserole. So thanks for watching. I'll switch you back over to the nest cam, which is pretty cute too.